Internet, Eric here. Rachel's here.
Woohoo!
We're starting a new I don't know what you call it. Category, idea,
Please
something
don't
like
make me watch.
yeah, something like that on the channel where I guess we decided on calling it Please Don't Make Me Watch. And what it is I make Rachel watch a movie that she's never seen.
And vice versa.
Yes, I'm getting to the rules.
Okay.
Jesus.
Don't want you to leave that out.
Yeah, I know. I make her watch something that she's never seen, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna hate it. And the rules are that there's no messing with your phones, no iPads, no nothing. So the person that has to suffer pays full attention to it. And then, of course, the person like Rachel had to throw out there can decide, on what that they make the other person watch. So, like, she's gonna watch this piece of crap, and then afterwards she's gonna make me watch something that I don't want to watch. And being the asshole that I am, I decided for the first thing for this concept, I guess you'll call it, I made Rachel watch Troll 2. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Plot spoilers, all that crap. Everyone knows, at least have heard of fucking Troll 2. Except for Rachel.
I had not heard of it. I thought it was just part of the other trolls.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with Troll 1. Came out in 1990. Basic plot of this. Rachel, why don't you tell us the basic plot if you can think of it?
It's probably better if you do, and I'll just chime in when I think of something.
That tells you how memorable it was to Rachel. This is known universally as the best of the worst movies. Anyways, the plot of this movie is we're following Joshua and his family, and they have.
Oh, Joshua.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Joshua. They have an agreement or something with some family where. And I've heard this before.
Like a foreign exchange.
Kind of like a foreign. You go live in this family's house, they live in your house, type of thing for like a month or whatever.
Like Wife Swap. That show, Wife Swap.
Nothing like Wife Swap. But they end up going to this town, and Joshua is visited by the ghost of his dead grandfather, Grandpa Seth.
And can I chime in here where the graphics are?
Yeah, if you want to.
The graphics are fairly hideous. Like, you can see the shirt collar on Grandpa on his head.
Yeah, let's get through the plot first, and then we'll talk about the floating head of Grandpa Seth. So at least we have some context. They're going to this town. Joshua talks to dead Grandpa Seth, and dead Grandpa Seth is basically saying, get out of the town because it's full of goblins. And Grandpa Seth, his thing was he used to tell Joshua bedtime stories about goblins and trolls and mythical creatures and all that shit. And through the work of Grandpa Seth, Joshua finds out that this town is actually infested with goblins. And what they do is they feed whatever human, well, they're in human form, and they feed whatever humans come to their town a type of food or drink, which turns them into like this weird plant. Well, some turn into plants, some turn into like this green goo that they can eat because everyone's a fucking vegetarian. And then basically it's Joshua and his family trying to get out of Nilbog, which is the name of the town, which
is goblin spelled backwards.
Which you knew right a fucking way. But anyways, basically it's Joshua and his family trying to get out of Nilbog while the leader of the troll army is this weird witch who lives in the woods, and we've got a lot to say about her too. Mm-hmm. Okay. Since you couldn't tell me the plot, Rachel.
Yes.
And since this episode is basically about your thoughts more than mine, what were your initial thoughts going into this movie before you watched it?
That was going to be awful.
Okay. What were your initial thoughts after watching this movie?
That it was awful.
There we go. I was talking to Rachel as we were watching this movie, and I told her that there's pretty much no acting experience through any of these actors.
Yeah, nobody famous in it.
I don't think so, or recognizable at all. Kid who plays Joshua, he sucks, but he's not.
He's trying.
He's trying, God bless him. He's trying his hardest. He's not the best actor, but we'll get to that person. He gets the shortest end of the stick in this movie. He has to talk to a dead grandpa. He has to be an annoying little kid, but not overly annoying. He has to act worried and scared and smart and this and that. He does okay with what he's given, which isn't much. Now let's talk about the best actor in the movie.
The dentist.
The dad, played by George Hardy, who actually is a small town dentist, still to this day, to my knowledge, and like this is his biggest claim to fame. Is like he was in Troll 2. He actually takes pride in this.
He was bored one day and needed something to do, so he thought, "Why not? I'll try out for Troll 2."
I think that's basically what it was. And you know what? I liked his performance. He tried his best, being the loving father, the protective father of Joshua. I have to put up with my crazy wife, husband type of guy.
She had crazy eyes.
Yeah, she was spooky. I liked him. He wasn't horrible. For a guy with no acting experience in a crappy movie, he did good. Like, so he was like the best part of like this mess of a movie. There was the scene where Grandpa Seth freezes time because he can now freeze time.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, time in, like from Saved by the Bell and Zach Morris. Time out.
It was basically Saved by the Bell, and they were going to eat, and he's saying, Joshua, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to figure out how to get them to not eat the food.
And it was like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it felt like 15 minutes to you. But yeah, it was more than 30 seconds. Joshua ends up peeing on the food. Yeah. And it's the best scene in the whole movie is when Dad has Joshua on his shoulders, and he's walking around. He's pointing at all the doors. He's like, you know what all this means? This is hospitality. And then he throws Joshua on the bed. And Joshua, what does he say? What are you going to do to me, Daddy? So it gets really, really awkward and uncomfortable.
Because Daddy's unbuttoning his belt at the same time when he says it.
Yeah, but he ends up tightening his belt. He's like, I'm going to go, like, you know what hunger pains are? You never... I grew up with hunger pains, and I won't let you piss on hospitality or something like that. So George Hardy does his best. And then there's the rest of the movie, like past Joshua and George. There's the mom.
Which, she always looked like she was saying something sarcastically.
That's because she's got the biggest bug eyes in the world.
Like, what do you think of the food? I'm like, why? But she's being serious, but you think, is she really being serious, or is she just...
And she is part of, like, the most awkward scenes of the movie. Like, when Joshua's having... Like, they're on the car trip to Nilbog, and Joshua, sing that song I love. And
sing my favorite song from church.
Yeah, or something like that. And, of course, it's Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And it's just weird and stupid. She sucks. The daughter...
I just thought, She didn't do anything for... She wasn't spectacular.
The daughter sucked in the very beginning when she's talking to the boyfriend. And she said, "Be quiet, my dad's here." And she's saying it as loud as possible.
Yeah.
In we first meet her in this weird, awkward workout scene where she's sweating and working out. And then later she has a dance sequence.
For no reason. So she kind of sucked. The boyfriend sucked. His friends all sucked. We all know about the kid who says, "Oh, they're eating her. And then they're going to eat me." Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Why can't I move?
Yeah.
That was funny though. But why can't I move?
Yeah, he was horrible. They all sucked. Grandpa Seth, he was okay for a floating head.
Yeah.
And what Rachel meant about the you want to explain the T-shirt part?
Well, it looks like he's floating in the window, and he's very...
Yeah, Joshua is talking to dead Grandpa Seth in like the bathroom mirror.
And it's supposed to just be a head, but you can totally see the outline of Grandpa Seth's shirt.
Yeah, it's a black T-shirt.
Collar, you see the little buttons on it.
Yeah, I don't think you saw the buttons, but you saw the wrinkles.
Yeah, you saw the wrinkles.
And I couldn't help but laughing because we were joking because he reminded us of like the floating head from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah.
So, but Grandpa Seth is okay for what he has to do. So I guess we'll let him sit with Joshua and Dad. But everyone sucks. The witch. There's a witch who's in charge of the goblins. And they're goblins. They're not trolls.
If you can explain to us why the movie is called Troll 2, but has goblins in it, and it's based off of goblins?
Well,
they
tried to bank on the success of Troll 1.
So when it's an entirely different movie.
Right. But I didn't think Troll 1 was very successful to begin with, but I don't know. The director is foreign. He could hardly speak English.
Also, if you could tell us what the difference is between a goblin and a troll.
Yeah,
in the comments,
really don't
let us know that, because we have no idea.
But she's this witch, and she's doing magic because she has a piece of Stonehenge in her home, right?
Yeah, she was from Stonehenge, or her ancestors are from Stonehenge.
She was paying. You were paying more attention than I was.
I remember that part because I couldn't stop. You know, it's funny. There's a dentist in the movie, and I couldn't stop looking at the old lady witch's teeth.
Yeah, she had the worst teeth in the world. And then later she had like herpes on her face.
Yeah, for no reason.
And that was gross. And then for some reason, she's a horrible actress too.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason she gets all sexy, and she looked fine. You know, get rid of the herpes and the glasses and all that stuff. And she's trying to seduce like the last surviving friend of the boyfriends.
Yeah.
By strolling down, like he's watching some cheesy horror movie, and you suddenly hear this quote unquote sexy movie or music, and it's just bad saxophone playing.
Right.
And his TV fucks up, and then I don't know if he just clicks it, the remote at or hits it or something, and it pans to her trying to walk sexy outside while holding
corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob. And then he opens the door to look outside. He still hears the music playing because I think he looks around or something.
Right.
And she tries to seduce him. He welcomes her inside. She like lifts up her dress so you can see like the stocking and her leg and everything. And I don't know if she basically does say, "Hey, let's have sex," but
they put the corn cob between both of their mouths and say, because she's like, "Are you hungry?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm starving." She's like, "Do you like corn on the cob?"
Did she actually say, "Do you like corn on the cob?"
Something like that. Something to that extent.
So she puts the corn cob between
what
them.
do you like? Do you like popcorn or something like that? Something cheesy like that.
So she puts the corn cob in her mouth and in his mouth. So instead of them like making out with each other, they're just eating corn. And then it starts popping everywhere for no reason. And then she leaves. Yeah. Like she and you think he's dead. But then later, for some reason, you just see he's covered in popcorn. He just spits it out and says, "No more popcorn."
Right. And
that's it.
That's it.
What do you think about how the goblins look?
Nah.
You want to describe how they look?
They have big noses. Is about all. Big pointy noses. They kind of look like Gonzo, if you will.
Yeah. They were basically Halloween masks worn by midgets who were dressed in a potato sack. God, this movie was so fucking dumb. I'm not a big fan of this. It's fun to watch with a group of friends and beer, but this was really stupid. I will say this, I did like the score of the movie. The music was cool, like during the opening credits. And I will say I did like the scene where, I don't know if Josh was talking to the Wizard of Oz again or whatever, and a goblin jumps out of the mirror and attacks him. Either that happens, or no, I know what it was. He was at the table and he was talking to. They just did a seance because 9-year-old Joshua fucking knows how to do a seance.
Oh yes.
Because they're trying to contact Grandpa Seth, and he switches places with the goblin, so he's now in the witch's Stonehenge room, and a goblin takes Joshua's place, and it's attacking the family. And I liked how it was attacking the dad. He threw that little midget down those stairs.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like I said, he puts his effort into it. So that was a cool scene. I liked that. What else can we fucking talk about other than how bad?
The townspeople.
Yeah, the townspeople. First off, the scene where the guy went to go get the milk. Remember one of the buddies? He was jogging. He was picked up by the possible pedophile rapist.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, tell me about that guy.
I don't want to.
No, the guy that owns the shop.
The friend is picked up by some cop who's really uncomfortable to deal with, and he's taken to the shop, and he's like, "Hey, do you have any ham or something?" Ugh, that's the devil's food. Do you have any bacon? And then the guy behind the store is like,
"We're all vegetarians here."
Yeah, all we got is Nilbog milk, and it looks like spoiled milk or something like
curdled.
That. And I told you that actor had recently got out of an insane asylum, and this is also when. Joshua and the dad, they come to the store, and you find out there's no one there because they're doing a sermon. And
that's when Joshua looks in the mirror and sees the sound of the sign of Nilbog is goblin backwards because you couldn't fucking figure that out. And then he sees the sermon that's going on. He sneaks up like in the attic, and it's some weird creepy dude talking about he's not talking about Jesus or whatever. He's talking about how the plague needs to be washed out and food and meat is bad and all this stupid shit. And they attack Joshua. And they're gonna feed him like the green food, but it's like ice cream, and they're like trying to force it down his throat, and it's really uncomfortable to watch. Eventually, Grandpa Seth shows up with a Molotov cocktail, and what is it? The preacher guy takes it from Joshua, but of course Grandpa Seth can control lightning now.
Yeah.
And he makes the lightning strike the Molotov cocktail and sets the guy on fire, but you can see the hands.
Right.
Like his hands are covered in fireproof gloves. So that was horrible. What other scenes? Any other scenes you could mention?
No.
Yeah, she really liked it. What did we want to... Oh, when the nerd kid who gets turned into the plant, we both talked about how
he looked like a 12-year-old? Because he was little? That one? Or...
The one that got turned into the plant, that saw he meets the hitchhiker girl.
Oh, okay.
And she's being chased by all these goblins, but he's just basically thinks they're midgets because, he can't tell that they're creatures because they're under masks or whatever.
Right. He's like, what are they? They're monsters, is what she says.
What else? There really isn't that much else. Oh, do you remember how they defeated the... Josh was given a special weapon to use in his backpack by Grandpa Seth. You remember?
I don't remember that. I'm sorry. Tell me about it.
Remember, it was like he defeats the goblins by eating like a double-decker bologna sandwich.
Oh, that's right. Now I remember.
And she was freaking out because of all the toxins.
No, bologna.
Yeah. And then they just defeat it by concentrating hard and like the power of love or some stupid shit.
And don't they put their hands on the wall?
Yeah, because they're concentrating on Stonehenge or whatever, and then all the goblins, I don't know if they blow up or whatever. I think the witch melts.
Or something?
I think the witch melts, and then at the end you find out that they're still alive because the mom eats an apple and she turns into goo or something like that.
Right.
So, Troll 2, was it as bad as you were expecting?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I found a couple things that I enjoyed with this movie. Was there anything you could say that you didn't hate or didn't mind of this movie? Like being impartial. Was there anything you could say, hey, that was good, hey, that was okay?
I thought the part where the little friend guy,
little friend?
Like the first nerdy guy that gets turned into a plant. When he starts getting turned into the plant, the blonde girl that he was chasing after in the woods is getting sick and throwing up and running up the stairs, and he's like talking to the witch, and he's like, he had just drinking the juice or whatever it was, and he's like, but why can't I move? I should go after her, but I can't move, and like wondering why, but saying it in a way where it's like he didn't really care.
He cared about being in this movie as much as you cared about watching it.
Right, exactly.
Like I said, the only thing I liked the dad's performance. I liked the music. The one scene where the dad threw the troll or the goblin down the stairs was cool. Yeah, I can see why people say this is like one of the worst movies ever made. It's not. It's one of, but I've seen a hell of a lot worse than this. At least I can be entertained by Troll 2. I do think it sucks that everyone loves Troll 2 because of how bad it is, and they forget about how good Troll actually is. But overall, I don't hate this movie. I don't really like this movie. It's
I don't need to see it again.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's retarded. It's boring in a lot of parts. It's fun to make fun of with your friends, but yeah. So please don't make me watch Troll 2. That was Rachel's first introduction to this. I think she's already decided what I'm watching next, but we'll keep that a secret. Anything else you want to say?
I'll never look at Corn on the Cob the same way again.
That's right. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, all that crap. Tell us what you think of this series. We've had a few people say that they're very interested in seeing where this is going to go. I do think Rachel's going to get the short end of the stick in this because I know a lot of more shittier movies than she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows how long this series will go until she just says fuck it and quits. But until then, we'll just say cheers, and Nilbog is goblin spelled backwards.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.